I'm Simon King, and this is What's Wrong. Wait for it. Sorry. It's all right. He's impetuous. He's excitable. He's Dylan Reimer, too, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. It's Dylan Reimer, too.
I'm the second Dylan Reimer.
You're
Thank
the second.
you.
He's the river. We killed the first one, cloned him, made a better one. This one, less whiny. And, ladies and gentlemen...
I don't know about that.
Less wino.
What do you mean whiny?
You're not whiny. You're not whiny. You're very... What's the fucking seagulls again? How are the seagulls? It's nighttime, seagulls. Go to fucking bed. When do birds go to bed? Do birds go to bed like late?
And by the way...
What about this early worm shit? How much sleep are birds getting? 4 hours? I gotta get up. It's just a seagull with coffee?
My question is there such a thing as a flock of seagulls? I don't think there is. Because they're chaotic birds.
Yeah, they are chaotic birds.
Yeah, they don't move in herds.
No, that's not a herd. It's a flock.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Flock.
They're assholes. An asshole of seagulls. Sorry,
this is possible. There are seagulls.
I cut in.
You feel like David Attenborough.
Introduce the episode, and we haven't even.
We already know what the fuck's going on.
Well, we've been sitting here for a week.
Okay.
We've been sitting here for a week.
Yeah, just quietly, not even moving, just staring at each other.
You've been sliding crackers under the door.
As soon as the last episode ended, Mikey turned out the lights, turned off the sign,
and defecating out the window.
Yeah, we just waited here.
Yeah,
and then we didn't know what else to do. And then he opened the door, and we're like, finally, fucking air. It was getting dire. It was getting
you won't let me call my mother until I do the podcast.
It was getting real Last Days of Titanic, like the musical. Titanic the musical.
Well,
it's hard to sing while you're gargling
There
water.
was a Titanic musical.
Was
Yes, there was.
Really? There's only one show, no second engagement. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one of my favorite jokes ever is Sean Proudlove, legendary comedian Sean Proudlove, talking about like when they did the 15-year anniversary of releasing Titanic. It was like 2012. And they're like, they just released they put the movie Titanic back in the theater. And what I like to do is show up about 3/4 of the way through, dressed as an iceberg, going, yeah! Get him!
And to those of you Vancouver comedy fans from about 15 years ago, that is a dead to rights impression. But to your listeners to your listeners in Victoria, you will know the Sean Proudlove.
Yeah, it's one of those impressions that I feel like if it should get more famous.
You know, sometimes you're watching a comedian and you're like, there's no way this person actually talks like this. It's kind of a Norm Macdonald phenomenon. But Sean Proudlove actually, he does actually talk like this.
I love it because we do impressions on the show a lot of times, and impressions people know. And then every so often we'll do impressions people don't know. And those are my favorite ones. But I wish people I knew who would do impressions of would get famous, because then I'd corner the market.
Because then you're Sean Proudlove.
He shows up and gets famous. I got about 2-year head start on everybody.
Yeah, you'd be the Dana Carvey.
I'd be the Jay Moore of Proudloves.
By the way, Jay Moore's Welkin is not good.
No. More or less.
Ooh.
Okay.
I find it sort of whisper.
It's fine.
That's his thing. He whispers. But
that's not.
But it's also so whisper.
That's not how he does it, though, is it?
He doesn't. He does too much. It's too much. You don't need it.
Also, he was minimally talented.
It's sort of
arguably the worst ever on Saturday Night Live.
The funny thing is, Walken's getting old.
Yes.
And it doesn't sound the same day anymore. I did it!
He's Christopher Walker at this point.
Christopher Walker. I like that. Christopher, no, Walken's so good.
Mine's better.
No, yours is good. Christopher Abel Walker.
Do you know who Jay Moore and Jerry Maguire, who Jay Moore was supposed to play Jay Moore's part?
Who know?
Owen Wilson, who you also have.
Oh, that would have been. Oh, yeah. Well, I can't do impressions. But
that was a good one.
I do impressions of Simon King's impressions.
Have you guys seen my Christopher Walken?
You're fired. Wow. Man, wow, you wrote that stupid letter and now you're fired.
He would be great in a lot of serious movies.
Coffees for closers.
Oh, please. I've always, if I was on a TV show that mattered, or any TV show, why has Glenngary Bob Ross not happened? Glenngary Bob Ross, it's just a bunch of painters in a room.
Happy little closers. I love it.
Second, I can't do him. I don't even know what it sounds like.
I can't do this.
Happy trees
trees.
are for yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think it looks like
what
sinister.
is my name? My name is Fuck You. That's my name.
Yeah. He would be a good vigilante. The Bob Ross.
Oh,
that'd
you'd
be part
never
of the
suspect
MCU.
him.
No one can defeat Thanos except Bob Ross. Happy little fuck you.
Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Bob Ross just paints Thanos to death.
Then paints him to death, bores him to death, quiets him down.
Well, yeah.
I tell you, like, I think that was the original ASMR. Was Bob Ross was the original ASMR?
What's ASMR?
It's just really like it's like, okay, and it's really quiet and it's really relaxing. I'm just gonna pick up this beer can. And I'm just gonna drum my hands.
Before CBC radio?
That's what it is. Yeah, it's public radio without the programming.
It's literally like it's like an internet genre where people just slowly
Yeah.
explain things they're doing.
Yeah.
By the way,
ASMR.
am I the only person who's never watched an episode of Bob Ross?
I haven't watched an episode of Bob Ross. The Joy of Painting I've seen.
Well, whatever. I've never seen it.
An episode of Bob Ross, the reality show.
You were just
Crazy violent.
You were like a fucking like a comic book geek over the painting world.
Excuse me. It's actually technically the Joy of Painting.
It's like that episode of the British Office where Gareth says to the computer guy, "Have you ever seen Chuck Norris fight? Who's the fighty guy?
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No, the famous one.
Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. The fighty guy.
In Enter the Dragon. And he's like,
the fighty guy. Get one of them fighty guys in this movie, eh?
and he's like,
make this movie better about fighting.
he's like, no, I have not seen Chuck Norris fight Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon. What, you haven't seen that? I've seen him fight him in Way of the Dragon. And you were just that,
Yeah,
but with
yeah.
Bob Ross.
Yeah. I'm not like that with fighty guys, though. Fighty guys I know.
That'd be a good name for a series of films.
You're listening to ESPN post-boxing. So last night, there was a crazy round. What round was the fighty guy?
There was a lot of fighting happened between those fighty guys.
Big heavy fighty guy versus another heavy fighty guy. Both
There
of them
was
heavy
the
fighty guys.
tattooed white fighty guy, and then the also tattooed black fighty guy.
In the news, Irish fighty guy.
and the tattooed, slightly tattooed, fucking black fighty guy kicked the living shit out of the heavily tattooed white fighty guy.
and that's it.
Yes. I myself have no tattoos, and I've never been in a fight.
I have no
Simon
tattoos.
King, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay, I'm gonna
have you
answer
ever
it.
been? Have you ever been in like a real fight, like a punch fight?
Like a punch fight.
Yeah, not like a grabbing the hair and rolling around the
No,
ground.
like
but
with
an
people?
Yes. You grew up in the rough streets of Langley.
I grew up in 1896, and and it was difficult because the other kids at the coal mine
You were
were
Bill the
assholes.
Butcher.
I was Billy the Butcher.
Yes. Daniel Day-Lewis studied you for years.
I've been in a couple when I was younger.
Have you ever been punched in the face?
Yes, I've been hit in the head with a baseball bat. I've been punched in the face, yeah, a couple of times.
No shit.
Yeah, I had a baseball bat taken to me. It was an aluminum baseball bat. It makes a funny sound. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't
When
hurt.
did that happen?
Yeah,
I was like
is that
16,
real?
15, yeah, so 15, yeah.
Huh.
And that happened, and then I remember I got into an altercation with a kid once, and I just had enough, and I grabbed his throat, and I would not let go.
Holy moly.
He started. He went from punching me to panicking, like he went from like hitting me to being like, oh. Like it was like
Yeah.
I just wouldn't stop, and
Yeah.
then I realized I was like, I don't want to be this guy.
Sure.
Don't want to be this guy. And I kicked another guy in the head one time.
Okay.
But I mean, he kicked me in the head, so fair.
Is this
right?
common in Langley?
No,
Kick
this
the
was
bats
just
in the head, or
no.
is this
I
just
mean, no. No, this was in school. This was in school.
Yeah,
you fucking serious?
Oh yeah,
Like
fuck that. That was my
schoolyard.
schoolyard. Yeah.
Come on, Mike. You've been in a fight, right?
Why do you think I dropped out?
not with a base, not like that.
No,
That's
yeah,
insane to me.
Yeah, no, that was during gym class.
Is that gym teacher?
I took one to the back of the head. I didn't know what was happening, and because I was up at bat, and then I took a bat to the back of the head, and I was like, but I'm holding the bat. How is this happening? Like for a second, I'm in like a real existential crisis. Am I hitting myself? What is bad?
If the bat hits me in the back of the head
Yeah,
and
then I
no
got
one's around.
I wasn't wearing a helmet or anything because we didn't do that because it was the early '90s. And then I got one in the side and one in the back, and then I turned around and the kids were fleeing, and I was like, "Oh, you motherfuckers!"
Oh, like you're the Incredible Hulk.
And then I took a couple of slugs to the back of the head once, and it's like not bullets, but like like can't remember the letter F, but I can rip a phone book in half with my teeth, like one of those, just out of nowhere. I took a couple of phone books. That's okay. It's a PH.
So I mean, not to get too personal
Yeah.
on your own podcast.
Yeah, on my own podcast. What's personal with Simon King?
I think we found out what's wrong with him. You got a fucking bat in the head as a teenager.
Yeah.
So you must have known the kid who did this.
Yes.
Do you know the reason that they did this?
They never really had reasons. It was
Well,
just
they never do they?
just, no, they don't. It was just bullying. It was just legit bullying.
Unprocessed childhood emotion.
I was a sensitive, sweet kid, and I'm not a small person, so it was like if you could knock me down, it would be like, hey, that guy's kind of, because it was always the wiry kids.
Yeah.
And that's why when I grabbed that kid's throat that time, I was like, I'm probably just gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm doing like I'm 15. Probably not going to go to jail. I was 16. I'm not going to go to jail for a long time.
Right.
You know, and then he's dead, and this problem's solved. And as you're thinking that, he's turning blue, and you're like, I should stop doing this. And then I was like, I need to get myself out of an environment that would make me become this person.
And so you got into stand-up.
Yeah.
where there's no conflict
I have a really
or
weird
aggression of any kind.
I'm a coward. Like, I'll admit, I freely say that I'm a coward. I don't like confrontation. I don't like fighting. I don't like it. I don't want anything to do with it. But I have a really weird thing in my head that will snap.
Oh.
Sometimes when I'm on stage.
Yeah.
Or if it's really, but very rarely it's happened, and I'll be like, I'll fucking fight you. I don't give a fuck. I'll take this audience outside.
Okay.
Not to be I'll lose, but it doesn't matter because I'm like I'm 3 bourbons deep. I'm like, you want to fucking go? Like I'll just like go all fucking north of England.
Not
fuck you. You want a fucking piece of me, eh? Fuck off. I'll fucking take you outside.
Not to be a loser, but what is your astrological sign?
Fuck off. No. I'm a Virgo.
Oh, okay. So when's your birthday?
September.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a September baby.
Now, I myself am a Taurus, born in April.
To the Ford family. Ford Taurus.
Oh, fuck
off.
And you know what's pathetic is like one of the few cars I've owned was a black 4-door Ford Taurus.
It had to
which is
happen.
actually hard to say. A black 4-door Ford Taurus.
Yeah, that's how people learn their American accents when you're learning American accents. 4-door
also,
Ford. 4-door Ford. 4-door Ford.
Did I get it right?
4-door Ford.
No,
drive a
but
four-door Ford.
Taurians are known for 2 characteristics. One is
Taurians?
Yeah, I'm a Taurus. Taurians.
What am I, a Virginian?
You're a virgin.
Virginian?
You're Virginian.
Virginian? He's East Virginian. You don't hear
the one
those
characteristic is that we're not superstitious, so we don't buy into any of this fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
And the second characteristic is we're stubborn, and we are not given to violence unless we're pushed like beyond a certain point. So basically, if you were to come to me and go like, "Yeah, Taurus, you're a fucking Taurus. Yeah, come on, Taurus,"
that would make you mad.
I would punch you in the face.
That's,
you know,
you would be like a raging bull. You would be right.
Yes.
There you go. See, did you get the reference?
Yes, I got the reference.
Thank you very much. Anyone who didn't get the reference, it was a film made by Martin Scorsese. You might want to check it out.
It's his second best film.
It's his second. What's his best film?
Oh, King of Comedy.
King of Comedy. I've never seen it.
What?
Never seen King of Comedy.
By the way, I was joking about
Found out
that.
it
His
wasn't
best
about
film is
me.
obviously
Upset.
Goodfellas. Second is Raging Bull. Third is King of Comedy. You've never seen King of Comedy?
I've never seen King of Comedy.
never
It's
either.
so fucking. How have you ever seen
Jerry
this?
Lewis. I hate Jerry
No,
Lewis.
but so do I, and that's why I love this movie.
I gotta see it.
Because he's playing against type. He's
Is that Bob De Niro?
yes.
But didn't he then play another guy like that in a movie? The comedian or whatever nowadays?
The Joker?
The Joker? No, it wasn't the Joker.
No, he was in Joker. Oh, by the way,
not
comic
seen
book
that
fans, Joker. I'll say this to the camera. Joker sucks. Red Letter Media nailed it with Baby's First Taxi Driver. That's how you describe that fucking movie. Like,
I like that. Though.
it is so fucking.
Are you talking to me?
Who's talking to me? You must be talking to me because there's nobody else around here.
Are you talking to me? Baby's First Taxi Driver.
I love it.
Just jingling his keys in front of the camera. If I had my keys on me, I would have
talking to me?
Who's talking to me? Look who's talking to me too.
Look
Look who's talking. Look who's talking.
Look who's talking to me.
Look who's talking to me. It's just John Travolta and the voice of Robert De Niro is the baby.
Look, how has no one done that? Look who's talking to me. Hey, but it's when they're it's in the beginning.
When they're all fucking baby here, eh? You fucking baby. What am I, a fucking baby to you, huh? Fucking baby.
When they're all sperm cells go into the egg in the very beginning.
I fucking will. I fucking thought I will fucking.
One day a real rain's gonna come down and clean these streets. While he's swimming as a sperm through the fucking. I want to say vas deferens, but that's male.
Vas deferens. Ovarian?
You had a
fallopian
baby.
tubes.
Yeah, fallopian tubes. That's the one.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I'm not a gynecologist.
As soon as you have a kid, you just do all things.
Which is like a Scientologist,
Hey,
but instead of holding up the cans,
I put the guy
Hold
in
on to cans.
gynecologist.
I put the guy in gynecologist.
Yeah.
The sexist gynecologist. Oh, fucking ladies in
Hey,
here.
fucking gay. I'm a fucking gay gynecologist.
What's wrong with your clam?
Hey, whoa, fucking hey. Look at these broads.
Diagnosis clam spinks.
Just goes out. Look at these broads in here with all the lady problems. Andrew does gynecologist. Well, we've got a new character, so that's fun.
By the way, I think you have endometriosis. You should drink more cranberry juice.
That also wouldn't help
That's fucking
endometriosis.
great.
Anyways,
That is fucking great.
as I'm finishing
look who.
my master's in gynecology.
Look, seriously, how has no one ever done? Look who's talking to me.
Look who's talking to me. And look who's talking to me too. It's
my
really
God,
bad. Yeah.
It's so
Look who's talking to me.
It's so perfect.
Ooh.
What were we talking about?
I don't. Doesn't
can't
matter
remember.
now. This is what this podcast is. There's no
I
point.
digress.
Strangely enough, last night, me and my girl went to see Raging Bull at the Rio Theater.
Okay. Yeah,
my
nice.
favorite movie theater in Vancouver.
It's great theater.
And
It's great theater to do
it'd been a
stand-up
good,
in, too.
like 15 years, 20 years since I'd seen Raging Bull. That is unbelievably good.
Never
like,
seen it.
So what?
Yeah. I'm bad with
fuck.
For
Scorsese's.
Patreon, we're just going to show movies the assignment that you've never seen.
I think, you know what? I think I've only seen like 4 Scorsese movies.
For Scorsese?
I've seen Goodfellas, obviously.
Yeah.
I've seen The Departed.
Okay.
That's a Scorsese.
Yeah,
right?
it's
I've seen what else have I seen that's a Scorsese? Cars 2. That's Scorsese, right? Is that not Scorsese?
Scorsese.
Yeah,
Scorsese?
That's just the experiment with animation.
Yeah, it's Cars 2.
Yeah.
It's Cars 2, and then I don't know. I remember the other one that I saw of his. I think it was. I can't remember what it was. Wall-E.
Okay. All right. You are mixing up Pixar
I am mixing
with
up Pixar.
Martin
Yeah.
Scorsese.
Pixar. Martin Scorsese and Pixar.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be kind of a fun little.
That would be actually fun, right?
No.
Goodfellas, but it's just the fat kid from Up.
Toy Story.
Was it Alan Arkin? Who was it? No, it's Ed Asner. Alan Arkin would have been good in Up. I love Alan Arkin.
Well, Alan Arkin is great in everything.
What are you doing?
No, I always sound like Walter Matthau when I do that. I must have too many beers.
the goddamn chicken.
I do like that if you watch. I do like that if you watch every other
Did you
episode
actually
of
get
this,
that,
my
Mike?
podcasts are
That was
good.
just a great impression because
That was a
him
good
complaining
impression?
about a chicken.
What are you
Okay,
doing?
so to the
Why are you
home
here?
viewer / listener, I cannot hear out of my left ear
Yeah.
because I have horrible allergies this time of year.
Is it allergies?
Hey, that rhymes. Well, yeah, that and the fact that I was crossing the border and put 40 grams of hash in my left ear.
40 grams of hash.
No,
that sounds like an old country song.
Alan-
like an old
Johnny Cash
American
song.
folk
Alan
song.
Arkin.
I put 40 grams of hash in my
in,
left ear, and now I can hear Jesus calling me.
I almost didn't recognize it. I almost didn't recognize it.
I hurt my ear today because I filled it with hash.
You know what I always want to do is because Johnny Cash did.
I hurt myself today
Yep.
to see if I still feel.
I always wanted him to do. Never mind. I'm drunk.
She's a strange.
Wait, hold on.
He's a strange animal. What are you?
Johnny Cash does Gowan, right? Is that not something?
A criminal mind is all I've ever known. Just a small town girl.
I've noticed when you guys do Johnny Cash
Living in a
impressions,
lonely world.
you guys are good singers when you're doing the Johnny Cash impressions.
Is this still plugged in?
No, you fucked up
Yeah.
your thing. Your mic is wobblier than you fucking Taurus.
I wear
gotta
my
tape that
sunglasses at night
So here's the thing. Now, this is a question.
so I can.
If Elvis was still alive, he would be an 80, I think. Wouldn't he be 80? When was he born? 37?
I think maybe
Look it up.
130.
No, he was born 35, wasn't he? 34, something like
I-
that. He's 40. He died 2 weeks before I was born. He was 43, wasn't he? 42?
Elvis was born in January 8th, 1935.
35. Okay, January 8th, 1935. So, if he was still alive, he'd be closing in on 90 years old. 80. Yeah, 90 years old.
Yeah.
So, would he still be singing? Would he still be producing music, or would he be like Brian Wilson-y? He comes out once in a while.
He would be president of the United States.
It might have happened.
No, seriously.
He's dumb enough.
Yeah.
So are we.
I'm pretty fucking stupid.
Well,
I don't know if
based
everyone
on
knows I'm
everything I know about
I'm
Elvis,
pretty
which
fucking
is
stupid.
not much.
I have no money left in my bank account. Fucking guy took it all.
Because he had a comeback special in what, like 67?
68.
68,
Boy.
right? And it's
Oh,
pretty.
boy, man.
Now, that's a comeback.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a comedian.
No, don't call it comeback.
There's a comedian
Yeah.
in Vancouver by the name of Shlomo McPeak, who's
Gotta
one of
love
my
me,
favorite.
Shlomo.
we should have him on.
He should have Shlomo. I
We
would
should
love
have.
to have Shlomo.
By the way, there should
Prize
be
fighter.
There
Fucking
should,
prize fighter.
there should be a category of Vancouver comedian, which is people who did it for like 2 years, were superb,
Yeah.
and then quit.
Yeah.
And
Mikey. Unfortunately, he stuck around after he was superb, and it just became what it is. But for 2 years there, he was so good.
He's still
Murdered.
Mikey needs someone to sign his ticket. I'm
doesn't
sorry,
need
but
to-
he's just like he's not in the union. But Shlomo, now, total fucking fluke. Now, like back when so Shlomo is a former boxer turned comedian,
Yeah.
and
Prize fighter.
and he found out that his mother was Jewish or something. I don't know. So he changed
I
him
think
to
his wife is
Shlomo.
Jewish.
What's
I
that?
can't remember if his wife is Jewish. Doesn't matter.
Anyway, point being, total fluke. I happened to move in next door to Shlomo McPeak.
What?
No, we were next door
Every
neighbors.
time the doorbell rang, you punched me in the face.
And you haven't seen. And you haven't seen.
a second.
A
Give me a
raging,
second.
raging bull. Fucking-
I just love the idea of that. As you just ring his doorbell, he just punches you out.
Shlo-
And
okay.
then someone throws a towel on you.
If you were a comedy fan in Vancouver,
Oh god.
and you see that Shlomo McPeak is on a show,
Go.
and if he's doing his
Mr. Robot?
Mr. Roboto bit, it's up there.
It's one of the best things
It's
ever.
one of the best things I've ever seen
Yeah.
in Vancouver comedy.
When it works.
And I mean like legit
And
ever.
the thing is when it works, and it's one of those bits that doesn't work all the time,
No.
but it's even better when it doesn't work.
Oh yeah.
Because the
It's like
audience
it's
does
like-
not
it's like-
know what they're seeing,
it's like
and
all-
we're like, holy shit.
Yeah,
and he's wearing like football pads with like tinfoil on them, and he comes out and he does like an ode. Does he have like the whole Mr. Roboto? I can't remember.
No,
what
he does the entire
He
song.
does the entire song.
No, it's the entire song.
Set up the bed. Can you set it up?
No,
cappella.
no. There is no setup. It's
No,
like,
he just comes out
ladies
and
and
does it.
gentlemen,
Shlomo McPeak.
Shlomo McPeak, and then he comes out covered in tinfoil
Like,
and,
yeah.
and football pads,
Yeah.
and then the DJ plays, and he just kind of like dances
Yeah.
very passionately.
He had that amazing bit about that song "Child of Divorce." He talked about why he got into Nicky Nine Door so much when he was a kid. It's like, yeah, just to feel alive. And just go out after school and just ran. He's like, it started out, and then one time he gave his substitute teacher the finger, and he just felt good, like he felt alive. It's like she turned around, and I was like, and then he's like, then all the kids laughed, and I was like, I knew I had something. Like, and then he tops it off with the song "Child of Divorce." That's why he became so bad. It's amazing.
so
It's
funny.
genius.
I never realized because Shlomo also has a bit where he's like, because he's a former boxer, you know,
Yeah.
so he's pretty ripped and stuff, you know. And he's like, sometimes when life gets me down, I just, I get in my car and I drive out, out to the suburbs, I find an abandoned metalworks factory, and I just dance. I just dance. I never realized how music is so important to Shlomo's.
He had a joke that I really wish I'd come up with.
Is like the hide a bed thing?
He goes, so he goes, I just got fired. And he talks with a bit of a lisp because he'd be punched in the face a lot. And he goes, I just got fired. And he said, like, he's probably in his 50s now. And he's like, I just got fired. And, I didn't take it well. And I went in and saw my boss. And I was like, his name's Terry Chang. And I was like, Terry, why did I get fired? And apparently, according to him, there's no space for a 48-year-old white man in an Asian youth gang. And it's just him getting fired from this Asian youth gang, and it's one of the funniest. And he's trying to explain why he should stay, and it does a conversation between Terry Chang and him, and then he finally accepts that he probably needs to move on, like a bird leaving the nest or whatever the fuck. It's just genius, and it was just like this. It's just this hard, and it takes 2 minutes to get to the first joke.
Oh, dude, yeah,
because he sets it up for so long.
He has a bit about how he works for. I don't know the name of the company, but. Let's say East Van Moving.
That's what it was. East Van Movers.
East Van Movers. East Vancouver's old for 30 years. Like he. Oh fuck! No, I'm too drunk. Like East Van Movers, East Vancouver's oldest known moving company. Anyway, he has this thing about a hide-a-bed.
Yeah.
And I'm ruining the bed.
He's ruining the bed. The point is, no. Anyway, if you have a chance, find Shlomo McPeak on McPeakwitz. McPeakwitz.
Yeah.
I know what I see.
Or just go to the peak. The peak of a mountain. And he'll be meditating. But he was my neighbor, right?
Guys like
that.
So
here's the thing: is Shlomo is like, and back in the day, he was Brad, and he was a really funny comic, a former boxer, and so on. And he just happens to be my next door neighbor. It's like, oh my God. So I go over and okay, so I was a brain bigot because I assumed that boxers were dumb.
No.
But this guy reads everything.
Yeah. Slowly.
He's sitting.
I'm sorry. I know, I love him, but I can't help it. The joke is more important than anything.
Yeah. And you're making fun of the champ.
Oh yeah, fuck no, I wouldn't fuck with that dude. Are you kidding me?
No, but and then he found out that I'd never seen the Elvis comeback special, and he insisted "Oh, Reimer, we're gonna watch this right now."
That's awesome.
And so at first I'm just like, oh God, I'm gonna have to sit through this whole fucking thing.
Do it, didn't you?
But I gotta say,
fucking good special.
It's fucking amazing.
It's fucking good.
I've never been an Elvis fan.
Yeah.
But that black leather shit,
damn.
Holy fuck.
And also more mature Elvis, like we're talking 10 years after the hits, we're talking mature Elvis being in the war. Or being in the military, being in Germany, same thing.
He's seen some shit. Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men.
Hung out
Elvis.
With he's hung out with some Germans.
He's giving up music and anyway.
I'm not sure if that's the one, but I think that was supposed to be a Christmas special. Then he was like, fuck it, I'm just doing my hits.
I'm just fucking doing it.
Yeah, and then he just, everyone in the back was like, what's he doing? And then he just did his hits.
And 6 months before that, he's sitting in a latrine just in his underpants with a Full Metal Jacket rifle under his neck. And then he shoots a drill sergeant, but they get him out.
Metal Jacket.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Can you imagine if that was just your natural speaking voice? It's like your child is terrified of you. I'm just the way I talk.
What's his name? E. Earl Haley or whatever fucking...
Arlie Henry.
Yeah. Oh, you know.
Yeah, I know things. I have a
I bet you wouldn't even have the courtesy to give a reach around.
Here's the funny thing about Arlie Emery was just a consultant on the movie, and then Kubrick's like, I'm insane, and I'll make you go put you in the movie. Kubrick was fucking overrated as shit.
You're just crazy and then taking a genius.
No,
beard.
Okay, Simon.
He looked like a fat George Lucas before George Lucas was fat.
I consider you one of my best friends.
Yes.
And we agree.
We have part ways on a lot of things.
We do not agree on movies at all.
We do not move. Well, we agree on some movies.
Stanley Kubrick is arguably the greatest director who's ever lived.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
A little guy named Tim Burton. Just kidding. I'd like to see the same movie every time, please. I'd like to see Tim Burton direct Fight Club. Thank you very much.
Well, so here's the thing. As a comedian, the advice I always give to young comedians is, well, first of all, there's that 3-month thing where it's like, just try for 3 months. But okay, so after that, stage 2 is, the way I did it, the way I ascended to the heights.
The way he got here.
Is
to this
Mike's
place.
apartment.
To Mike's apartment. Deadly Heights Studio. A view of the McDonald's.
No, from above.
From above. Yeah, from above. You're looking down on McDonald's.
Yeah.
And the Orpheum. By the way, and the Orpheum, a beautiful, fucking amazing venue.
Well, it's on the other side of the street.
I see a lot of roofs.
And the studio and the pizza garden. And Champs. You got a Champs down there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And this whole office building that's just abandoned.
Great building. That's weird. We should be doing it there.
And okay, young comedian, if you're listening, here's my advice. I was a few years in, and I came to the conclusion that everybody was making jokes about the SkyTrain. Everyone's making jokes about whoever the premier of British Columbia is.
Yeah.
Everyone's making jokes about. Well, it was just all very obvious, and I was like, okay, what I need to do is figure out what no one's talking about and lean really heavily into that and do that for years, which is what I did. And eventually it worked out. Not that I'm this tremendously successful comedian, but
No, you're doing great. I mean, you've got albums out, you got your TV, you're on TV, you're doing fucking great.
Well, no, it's the same with you, Simon. We're
you get a whole Miller Lite? What, a Miller High Life?
No, but to get to the point where you don't ask for a Miller Lite, you're offered a Miller Lite.
Yeah, that's the way it works, right?
No, it's like what. And you did the same thing, Simon. It's what is no one else doing? Do that.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're starting out, the inclination is to go with the flow. Everyone's talking about this stuff, but that's bullshit. I forgot why I mentioned that.
One of the reasons Vancouver comedy actually is
why
very good.
Why did I mention that?
One of the reasons Vancouver comedy is very good is because people tend to be very diverse in terms of the types of comics they are here. I do remember once I was getting so tired of people doing the same sort of stuff, and I went to a show once, and 3 comics on the same show here in the city, without either seeing each other or caring or whatever, did basically exactly the same Tinder joke. Almost exactly the same word for word.
Do you remember it?
I don't remember the exact joke, but it was something along the line of I swiped left and I very rarely do this. I don't do it anymore at all because I'm not on Facebook. But I went on Facebook and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, guys! At least pay attention to what's happening around you. Maybe you're not going to be super original, but don't do the same joke.
Same
Two
fucking
other
joke.
fucking people have done on the show, literally the same joke.
Wow.
And then it was like, maybe fucking do something interesting with the concept. It ended up, just to prove a point to myself, I wrote a joke about Tinder that ended up being on a special that I liked so much because that was maybe they'll use Tinder to pick slaves, like if Tinder existed 150 years ago.
Oh, that's so funny.
But the point I was making was that you can talk about any topic if you do it in an interesting way. Case in point, Brian Regan talks about the same fucking things that so many people have talked about, does it in a way better than all of us because he can find those things that we cannot find. Maria Bamford is a good example of someone like this too. She talks about topics that is initially, some of them seem banal and boring, but makes them into these things that are totally different worlds than what we can possibly dream up. And that's what a great comedian is, I think. That and be the toilet seat cover. I don't guess better than that. I don't know how drunk Dylan is. It's hard to tell.
I'm thinking.
I feel like I'm trying to trick a shark into not eating me.
No.
You know what I mean? I feel like I'm trying to be so, what's tasty?
Okay, unlike your other guests.
The first time he had 37 beers and hung around the whole time.
Unlike your other guests, I'm actually thinking about what you just said.
Oh, don't do that.
Okay, never mind.
Wait until we air it. And I just dub it over with James Earl Jones saying something profound. That's all it'll be. He's thinking.
Okay. Here's a question. Here's a question. All right. So I started in 1993.
Yeah. Even flow.
And
Sorry.
It's fine. I agree.
Can't help it.
In fact, the awesomeness of Pearl Jam
pretty good.
only highlights what I'm about to say.
Joking, getting up on mic, so open mic here.
Although I was in high school and of course we were like Stephen blows. That whole thing about a gay guy called Stephen.
Yeah, there you go.
Which, by the way, the PC police would show up at the school and go, "You teenagers can't say Stephen blows in a derogatory way."
First of all, what are the Port Charlotte police doing there?
The what
That's
police?
not their jurisdiction at all. Port Charlotte.
What's Port Charlotte?
It's a place where they make whiskey. The point. Anyway, doesn't matter. I don't know.
I forgot my point.
Stephen blows. Anyway,
Stephen blows.
And they're dragging him away.
ladies and gentlemen, I think we may actually be recording Dylan Reimer drunk. It doesn't happen a lot.
We got to the point.
Dylan Reimer drinks like someone's going to take it away from him, and then never seems to get drunk. And yet somehow, I don't know whether it's the heat
I forgot
or my animal
what my
sexuality.
He added vodka to his beer. That could
He
have
did
done
add
it.
vodka to his
Maybe
beer.
vodka
Yeah.
beer added. Maybe
He did that real AA. He did that real Alcoholics Anonymous behavior where he's like, "I'll just have a light beer."
No, what was my fucking point?
You look like you're doing math about putting a starship in space while you're talking to me.
I can't remember. Okay, never mind. Let's talk about
okay.
something else.
Well,
You're the host.
I am the host, but
Yeah.
I'm not needed. At this point, I'm superfluous.
we have a low window if you want to jump out.
No,
You can do, or throw up out
I
there.
had
That's
a- I
good. That's
had
a
a
good. That's a
valid-
vomit window.
I
We used to
had
have a vomitorium in here, but they took it apart. You know what I mean?
I had a very good point to make about comedy in the early 90s, and
Yeah.
I forgot it because I keep getting fucking distracted
Yep.
by two
Sorry.
people.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But at least there's no seagulls,
For now.
right?
Yeah, well, they're in bed now.
Mr. Seagulls are coming to your voiture, you do your podcast. The
God
darkness
damn it!
is
This is
slowly
twice now on a
coming over
podcast
your
where
head.
I've forgotten the incredibly poignant thing I was trying to
What
say.
could come up? We're 36 minutes in. We're past. You're flowing, so you're doing good. We could do another.
No, we'll do a little more. You want to do a little more?
Let's get random, is what I was going to say.
Random. Oh, I was going to say, yeah, we should be doing an hour. Let's do a
do
little
it.
more.
I was gonna
Let's do another
class
8
it.
minutes, and then everyone will be like,
Let's
"What the
get-
fuck happened?" I'll be like, Dylan, and then just cut to a video of Dylan just lying in
I was
your
waiting for you to
living
make a
room.
random noise with me, but maybe we can get
All right, let's do that. Hold
What voice was that?
Let's get random. Okay, we are very random.
All right.
Very random now. Very random.
You're the only person I know who can do
I do like doing a Paul Giamatti.
American Splendor.
I like doing it very much. A Harvey P. Carr.
Well, it's your advice, but he's doing what other people don't. Paul Giamatti.
There you go. Doing a lot of. And you know what? It's worked great. Thanks. What's your?
Well, no. I am a Paul Giamatti fan.
Yeah. Do what other people don't. Apparently, other people still jerk up on the bus.
No,
so
no,
whatever.
but seriously, like everybody does the fucking the thing with you, Simon, is you actually have figured out the impressions that no one else is doing.
Yeah.
The problem is
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what, guys? I know why Van Gogh licked his paints. You think your left ear is bad? Anyway. I can't hear out of my left ear. Ah, dear God, put the cans back on, you fucking maniac. All right, let's do a random.
All right, we're getting random. All right, this is a pretty good one. If you didn't care at all what people thought of you, what clothes would you wear that you don't?
I don't care. What clothes would I wear if I didn't care what people thought of me?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, fuck. Like no care.
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
You can wear whatever
See,
you want.
it starts with the question: do you care what people think of you based on your clothing? Right? Like that's where that
So let's take
question
that.
begins.
Let's take
That's
that
the
out of.
subtext,
Let's
yeah.
take clothing as an extension of personality out of the situation. It's
All
a
right.
very hot day today. It's 30+ degrees. It's
Yes.
still warm. What would you wear today? Were there no ethical or moral concerns?
I would wear a beekeeper outfit. No, I would not.
No, I was gonna say that seems like counterintuitive.
Or maybe there's a lot of bees. You don't like bees.
I mean, he's afraid of being. There's a guy who's allergic. You know what I mean? I'd wear a peanut keeper outfit because I can't. Just kidding.
You know what?
Can of peanuts.
I might lean into the that Eddie Izzard shit. Like,
Yeah.
but the problem is,
Jam.
I can't find shoes.
Shoes don't fit it very much, and I'm very ginger.
Well, okay, so
and I don't like ginger, and I'm very ginger, and I just wear shorts get my knees out. Hello, it's just for your knees, and I'm.
Sorry.
I've never heard of that either.
Does he Eddie Izzard? No one knows who Eddie is. There's one that nobody does, that nobody cares about. I think you'd look good in a dress, though.
no, I do look good in a dress. God damn
There
it!
you go.
I do. So you do.
All right, here we go. Fuck. Hey, welcome to What's Wrong with Simon King After Dark.
I was raised by 3 women.
Really?
Related to me.
I was gonna say, they found me in the woods.
My mother, my grandmother, and my older sister.
Oh,
And
Jesus
so-
Christ!
and
This has gone all Joy Luck Club
and
on us.
I've never seen a Joy Luck Club.
Oh, there you go. There's a movie. Fuck you, getting mad at me for Taxi Driver. Joy Luck Club's the Taxi Driver of Asian cinema.
Is it?
No, it's a good movie though. Scent of Green Papaya is a fucking great movie too. You seen that?
No.
Yeah, fuck you. Just angry.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, Cramping Tiger.
Have you
Hidden Dragon.
seen?
It's about
have you seen
colitis.
it? No, you haven't seen it, have you?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. You have seen that?
Anyway, so when
Of course I've seen that. It's walking around.
Asian movie. Oh.
It's a couple of fighty guys.
when I was a little kid, there wasn't a very a heavily male presence in my fucking life. Blah blah
Yeah, yeah,
blah.
yeah.
My older sister used to dress me up in her clothes and lock me out of the house, and I would have to run around.
Okay, that's a bit weird.
I would have to run around the neighborhood.
At first it was like,
in
oh,
high,
that's good. Now it's like,
in
what
like
the
a dress and high-heeled shoes. So
This fucking Boy George over here.
yeah, man.
I was raised by 3 strong women,
So-
one strong enough to push me out of the house and make me wear her clothes.
Well, no.
And I was like, well, that's not right.
Well, 2 of the strong women were at work, and the
Oh, there
third,
you go.
the
They were-
third,
they were
the
doing
third-
strong women stuff.
My older sister, because I was a younger brother, would dress me up in fucking girls' clothes and like lock me out of the house.
Why?
Because I was the younger brother. This is what
That's not a reason.
Come on, wait. Are you a younger sibling?
I'm the youngest of 2 girls.
Okay,
That's
so
not
you,
a
so
reason.
you know, right? They dressed you up.
You're
they-
the youngest of 2 girls? What?
Okay, all right. So Mikey gets it. Fucking.
To an extent, they used to make me dress. Yeah, I got dressed up.
When you are the youngest with an older female sibling,
Yeah.
you are a fucking Barbie doll.
Yeah, they demean you.
Well, whatever. They put you in girls' clothes. And maybe not in your case, but in my case, she pushed me out of the front door and locked it. And then I had to, like, in Surrey, I had to run around, like, dressed as a woman
Surrey?
with makeup on.
You might have made some money.
Every time I go on this fucking podcast, last time I revealed that I fucking flushed my dad's fucking ashes down the toilet. And now I'm talking about
And if you
running
haven't
around.
seen that, you need to go back to episode 1 because
was amazing.
that was amazing. The man fleshed his dad wasn't whole. He was ashes.
Yeah.
He didn't
Well,
want it.
it would have taken a lot
plunger and a
longer,
dream.
but like, and now I'm telling you that my fucking older sister used to dress me up as a girl and fucking push me out of the front door, and
So you're saying
I get chased around.
You're saying
by
that
boys.
You're saying that when you die, you want me to flush you down the women's toilet. That's what you're saying.
And you know what?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what toilet.
Doesn't
because
matter
all,
what toilet. All toilets are the
there
same
is
in
no
the afterlife,
difference.
man.
Penises and vaginas.
No.
Same difference.
No. In heaven,
Right,
everyone
so-
shits in the same pot, bro.
Yeah.
Is
it not
rain
weird,
is
though?
the angels' piss, man.
I can't quite figure out. The right wing are so obsessed
Yeah.
with showers, swimming pools,
Yeah.
and bathrooms. It's like, what
Yeah.
are you so worried about?
I don't know if you figured
Like-
out they're creepy. And
Yeah, they're fucking creepy.
and hydro obsessed.
Yeah, but like, what is their fucking? And none of them seem to wake up and go, "Oh wait, we're really obsessed with fucking
No.
toilets and bathrooms and showers
Yeah.
and swimming pools."
It's because apparently that's like it's like this misnomer that you can be like pretend like, oh well, this is an attack on morality, and everyone can be like, well, it's not, and they can be like, well, what about safety? And it's like, hang on a second. You know what people do when they're addicted to drugs? It's a lot worse than what happens in bathrooms. You know what people do when they don't have any money for food? It's a lot worse than what. So why are you fucking? The only thing the right wing's good for is working with the left wing to keep the plane in the sky. That's all they're fucking good for. I don't give a shit. I'm done. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of living at the existence of like how we have to go as slow as the slowest.
oh yeah,
I'm so tired of that shit.
yeah.
I'm so tired of having to go as slow as the slowest, of having to go, like, we have to work at the level of the dumbest person. And I'm not a smart person, but I'm smart enough to know that I don't know shit. And the amount of people you I just interact with the guy on TikTok today. The level of it's not just belligerence for the sake of it. It's legitimate stupidity.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Like, do you know you're dumb? Like, what's happened to you that you haven't figured out how fucking dumb you are? Right? Like, how has he not electrocuted himself? Oh, thank you very much. That's lovely.
Well, Simon, it's because they're dumb.
Yeah.
Hey, here, should we give a shout out to someone we just did a live feed to?
Yeah, let's do a shout out to Orange Tick Tick.
Orange Tick Tick.
Hey,
Shout
Orange
out
Tick Tick, thank you very much. If you're watching the podcast, thank you. That was fucking great. And also, by the way, I should mention that so I have a TikTok account. This is Simon King, and I'm going to start doing it. I think from our
we'll be getting back there.
Our account, from our podcast account. Now that we're settling into Deadly Heights Studio and we have a little bit more organization, what we're going to try and do...
My life's stable again. I can
is, now that things are more organized and Mikey no longer has to hide from the mob because those people have gone away.
For now.
We're going to slowly but surely start to try doing live TikToks. Maybe on the right before we record or between shows like we did today, which was super fun. I was super
awesome.
fun. Thank you to everyone that commented. And we're slowly building... And also, before we continue, I should say, this podcast you're watching or listening to has recently been featured on Amazon. So we hit a milestone. Bezos.
I love that.
Musk. I like your weird dick rocket better. But of all the people so all three listeners, get ready for some company. There's two more coming. And one of them's here.
Yeah.
And I don't even listen to it. I just like fuck it. I can't stand it. Like Simon's fucking stop talking over people. Anyway, so whatever. What? You can win this plant. I'm just kidding.
You could, yeah. We'll give it away.
Oh, it's not real.
No, none of the plants in this house are real.
I thought it was real.
I kill all plants.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought it was... You kill all plants?
Yeah, so I just buy fake ones now, too.
That's cool.
Do you actually kill all plants?
I just neglect them until they don't grow anymore.
That will happen.
Much like my parents did to me, so that's how it goes.
Oh, shit.
I got lights in there.
No,
There you go, you got
lights
it.
in here, dude. Look at this. I like how everyone listening to this has no clue what's going on. Well, you should
So
be
you gotta
fucking
get on
watching it.
YouTube.
Are you enjoying this?
You should be watching it on
All you
YouTube.
entertained.
At The Citizen Strange on YouTube. And then, I don't know why we did this in the middle. Let's just do another random.
What we give a shout out? Well, this is right up Dylan's alley. What's the most overrated movie you've seen?
Ooh,
He laughs.
here he goes.
He's about to crack his knuckles.
The guy's wearing a Black Dog Video t-shirt. Like, here we go. Oh, what's the most overrated movie I've seen?
What haven't I seen that's not overrated?
Takes out a flip chart.
Oh, man.
Oh, how about what's the most movie you've been hyped about, and when you saw, you're like so disappointed?
Okay, can I talk about the most recent one?
Yeah, please.
Because I have feelings about Apocalypse Now and so on.
Something
Never seen it.
But a movie that recently, in the last year or so, that people are gushing about is a movie called The Batman,
Oh, brutal.
which
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought was complete and utter dog shit.
The Shatman.
No, but if Shatner was the...
That would be
sorry.
great, though. No, but I was saying Shat as in the Irish. But
There are so many
Shatner
movies,
Man would be
but
great.
okay, but like the most overrated movie is the new Batman
I
movie
completely
called The
agree.
Batman
Yeah.
with fucking what's his nuts from
Robert Pattinson.
Vampire
Yeah.
whatever.
Harry Styles.
It is not a Batman movie. It is just a crime movie. Like
Batnet.
clearly the studio is like, oh, we have this fucking boring ass crime movie,
But a Batnet.
but if we call the bad guy the Riddler and the other bad guy the Penguin, then it's a Batman movie.
Yeah.
But it isn't. Because there's criteria for a motherfucking Batman movie, and it was such garbage. I couldn't believe it. I'm watching. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding? And here's the thing: online, everyone's like, is this the best Batman movie ever? No, it's not. It's easily the worst. Like, without question. You know why?
I'll tell you why.
It's not a motherfucking Batman movie because he's just some vigilante weirdo, which look, it is it's Death Wish, but with Batman. Like it is not a motherfucking I'm shouting.
No,
I'm
you gotta go
shouting.
into the mic.
No,
That's
it's just bouncing off the buildings
Sorry.
outside.
That's right.
And there's some guy walking along like, I wonder if I should
Wait,
see
wait.
that Batman movie.
I'll do.
What the fuck?
I'll do it quietly.
What was one thing you didn't like about it? Something
It
specific.
is not a Batman movie. It is just a generic crime movie where they said the bad guy was the Penguin and the Riddler.
You can yell.
And that the fucking emo loser protagonist was Batman.
Have you seen
The Batman is not a Batman movie. It's like
And the Riddler's riddles were pretty weak.
oh, dude.
They were
Okay,
like so
don't.
bad.
It's like
Why is black and white and red all
riddle
over?
me this? Do you want olives?
like yes.
Batman's getting stumped by all these riddles that
And
everyone
Batman's
in the
like,
audience
"Ugh."
is figuring out.
And the Riddler's like, what is 1 + 1? And Batman's like, oh, I'm a rich fucking emo kid. I couldn't possibly answer this because I never had to actually pass math in fucking kindergarten. No, everyone loves the Batman,
Yeah.
but the Batman sucks. Look, I'm going to go on a limb here.
That sounded a bit Jeff Goldblum.
And
The Batman.
I'm gonna say the Batman
Sucks.
the Batman is worse than Batman and Robin
Okay.
and all of it.
Wow.
Like,
I have a
Worse
quick
than
question.
Batman and Robin.
well,
Have
I'm
you
just,
seen?
I'm just okay. And also,
The
hey,
Nirvana song was off-putting, right?
oh, dude, fucking like something in the way. Like,
Have you
yeah.
seen the Thailand version of the Batman? No. It's actually called the Bahatman, and it's about a banker.
I thought you were gonna be like
Batman.
The Bahatma.
The Bahatman. And it's just BHAT, and it's about money. It's about the Big Short. The Batman.
The Big Short also overrated.
I don't know. I love Danny DeVito, and I don't. I'm sorry. I love you, Danny DeVito. I really do. I really fucking do. Please
And that's
do the
another
podcast.
thing. We might have to make bingo.
Danny DeVito has
like
come
Simon
up. Yeah,
King
a lot.
bingo.
Danny
Danny
DeVito comes
has
up
to
more
be
than
on
you
Is
it.
there
think.
Yeah.
is there an actor better than Danny DeVito?
There probably isn't. Talk about the fucking Penguin. That guy nailed that shit.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Except Tim Burton's like, let's make him a thalidomide baby.
Yeah, that's
and
weird.
so he's like a mutant with fucking like 2 fingers.
I mean, in the 90s, thalidomide was a big thing.
Is it?
thalidomide?
Is it?
It was a drug
Okay,
that they
look,
gave to women to ease nausea during pregnancy, and it caused flipper babies. But in the early 90s, thalidomide was a real big thing. It was a big thing, right? There were
And-
Olympic swimmers were faster.
Why?
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps,
Years
Like-
later.
thalidomide slip and slide.
Is it too much to ask?
Yes,
Uh,
in Canadian show business, yes.
like this new Batman. Everyone's like, this is the greatest Batman movie ever made.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, first of all, his Bruce Wayne sucks.
Yeah.
Because he's a whiny little fucking...
He
But
says
that's
this.
what Bruce
with-
Wayne is, though.
He goes, "You're not my real dad," to Michael Caine, or not Michael Caine, but to the Alfred.
Andy Serkis.
Oh, I
Yeah.
just thought
But
that was so funny.
but that's the thing is that's what Bruce Wayne, and I've talked about this on the Dr. DC podcast. Shout out to the Dr. DC boys. I've talked about how like Bruce Wayne is basically just a bitchy rich kid, like a 1%er, and it's like fuck you, dude. Like imagine if Elon Musk decided
no,
to be
no,
Batman,
no,
we'd all
but-
just put
no,
up with it.
but
'cause he
he
has
did-
$300 billion.
But he...
Good
Oh,
bit.
If you just showed up.
Could you imagine if Elon Musk actually could do something?
Everyone know Elon Musk is Batman.
He
so when
can make
speaks.
he can make children and
Unbelievable.
mistakes. That's all they can do.
Elon Musk is the best con man in American history. That motherfucker
Donald Trump's the
has
best con man.
contributed. No, because Trump at least was honest about what a piece of shit he actually is, whereas Elon is like, I'm trying to save the world, and you're not. You're not.
It's a real. You know what Elon Musk too put on Twitter? He's like, stand-up comedy is my side hustle. I'm like, you don't have the fucking guts. You don't have the guts.
Can you imagine?
You're gonna sign up and sit there with your weirdo Asperger's,
okay.
can't make eye contact, mother. And I'm not talking about Asperger's in a bad way because so many comedians have it, but he hasn't figured out how to weaponize it into being funny. He just stares at it. If Elon Musk had no money, you'd be like, fuck you, dude. You'd wring his neck at a bar. You'd be sitting there talking about, I'm going to space. My baby's name is. You'd be like, go fuck yourself because he's got $300 billion. We're all like, oh, that's pretty cool. Money is not a personality trait, dipshits. I guess it is in the
The
States.
thing with Elon is every time he's asked a question, he does this. It's like, "Hey, Elon, what about people going to Mars or whatever?" And he's like,
Yeah. Try to look smart by talking slow.
No, by saying nothing. It depends by what you mean by Mars. If you mean the red planet, absolutely. Unfortunately, there are conditions here on Earth where it's like you're a fucking billionaire's son.
I would love
He
to talk
is
to.
such
They should have a
fucking
real.
phony.
They should have a real smart person
Phony.
sitting in a room with him on TV. Like they should have a real, because that's something that I think Bill Burr pointed that out. He's like, how come every time you see a smart person supposed to be smart, they're always talking to idiots? They're never talking to another smart person. It was so good. He's like, you never see Neil deGrasse Tyson talking shit in a lab. It's never like another scientist goes, shut the fuck up, Neil. We're trying to do rocks over here. I'm like, how come they don't have Elon Musk should talk to someone who, like, you know. Like, actually talk to someone who knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You don't have to be rich to be smart.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be smart to be rich, as it turns out.
That's hilarious.
Elon, how many emeralds did you have in your pocket when you went to high school in New York? It depends on what you mean by drug money.
He starts everything with home.
Musk, come on the podcast. I'll fucking fly you up myself, Coach. Well, Danny DeVito, you come on. You take over Danny DeVito. This should be your podcast, really. What's wrong with Danny DeVito? Nothing. Fucking great dude. Yeah. All right. Fuck that.
Who's the guy who hosted Cosmos? I forgot his name.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No.
Yeah.
What before that?
the real one.
Carl Sagan.
Yeah, Carl Sagan.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean
look,
the real one?
I was.
That was weird. You know, the white guy.
All right.
All right. Weird.
Oh,
holy fuck.
oh.
Okay. All right, Dylan.
Precisely. Yeah, that's right. I hate black astrophysicists.
That's
Hold
the
on a
clip.
second.
Clip it. Clip it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, give me a second either side of that. Give me half a second either side of that.
Oh man, the astrophysicists.
I wore clothes and got kicked. Women's clothes and got kicked out of the house, and I hate black astrophysicists. Dylan Reimer, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why.
The astrophysicist community has been keeping Neil deGrasse Tyson out.
Astrophysical, physical.
If I can think of any industry that doesn't give a fuck about what race or culture you are,
it's STEM people.
It's astrophysics.
Yeah,
And Carl Sagan,
Space is black.
As a kid, I used to watch Cosmos, and it's like, imagine that. Billions and billions of galaxies and blah, 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 blah. You know? It's fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as your kid, you also wore what was in Cosmos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man. I'm not here to judge. I'm sad. I mean, this is all about judging.
I forgot my point.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, you made your point.
Let's do another random.
This is another one that's up Dylan's wheelhouse.
You
What's
keep
the-
saying it's at my wheelhouse.
movies, anything that's movie related.
Yeah, his wheelhouse is pretty.
You're wearing a
movie.
Blockbuster video.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Well, okay.
Black Dog would be
My wheelhouse is a bit of a shit.
What's a movie you've seen that others haven't that you can recommend?
Here we
Oh,
go.
without question.
Let's start with Simon first.
No, him first. I want to hear. I'm curious to know. Curious to know what weird come and see fucking 1986 Soviet movie you fucking came up
No.
with.
Well, it's unfair because I worked in a video store for 7 years.
Yeah, you have an unfair advantage.
So give us something. Just give us some gems here.
Well, come on, Simon, you first.
Something only available on VHS.
I know. I have Simon's answer.
What?
What was that movie you talked about, Top Gun, where some kid saves the world?
Oh,
by
Iron
stealing-
Eagle. Everyone saw
Iron Eagle, there we
everyone saw
go.
Iron Eagle.
Come on, Mike. Really?
I've never seen Iron
High
Eagle.
Road to
He's
China.
like, what's that movie?
High
Some
Road to
kid.
China.
I've never seen it.
They made 2 sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Iron Eagle is garbage.
What about High Road to China? You seen that?
Oh yes, I
High Road to
have
China,
with Tom Selleck.
and
Yeah.
Mimi Rogers. Who was the other one?
What?
Tom Selleck, and who was the other one? Jessica Lange. No, who was in it?
I have no idea.
That was a good one.
It's called High Road to what?
I still remember
High
High Road
Road-
to China. I still remember when he's got that
High
Lewis
Road
gun.
to China.
And he's in the ditch with the
Okay,
Lewis gun.
okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, the answer to that question
Okay, here we go.
is a movie called Roar,
Okay.
which no one's ever heard of. But Roar is a movie that was made in the late 70s.
You wouldn't be lying to me now, would you?
No, wait, no. Fuck you.
Pun,
come
pun.
on. Really
Jesus,
lying?
I had to.
You're worse than my dad.
Had to. I
You're
am a dad.
worse than my
I am a
dad.
dad. Yeah, at least I would stop getting dressed up like women.
But remind me about High Road to China after
I will-
I'm done
yeah,
talking
after you're done about Roar.
So I worked in a video store for 7 years, And people would come in and go like, "What's the most fucked up movie you ever saw?" And I'm like, without question, it's a movie called Roar. Now, Roar was made in the 70s. It stars a 16-year-old Melanie Griffith and her parents or whatever.
I know this movie.
And the premise of the movie.
Yeah, I know this
movie. The premise
movie.
of the movie is that.
I know this movie. I've seen it.
A family. Okay, so the producer of the movie loved big cats. He loved like lions and tigers and stuff. And so he wanted to make a movie that would show how gentle and nice big cats are.
Yeah.
So then he writes the screenplay where it's like a family goes to visit the dad at this great big house full of big cats.
Yeah.
Now, if you watch this movie, give it 15 minutes, because the first 15 minutes is pretty boring, because it's just kind of like, oh, we got to the airport, Dad, and we're driving you to the fucking house of the big cats. But once they get to the house with the big cats... Okay, I saw this at the Rio Theater. I saw this...
You see all your movies.
I'd never seen it before. I saw this movie at the Rio Theater, and you have to understand, like, it was independently produced by a guy who thought that large cats were not a threat at all. So
yeah, you can imagine.
You're watching
was
this movie,
filmed.
and it's like, and he's like, "Oh yeah, welcome to the house, family," and you're supposed to be watching this as like a fictional movie or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, don't worry about all these lions and tigers. Oh, they're perfectly harmless." And then a tiger literally fucking pounces on the guy.
Yeah.
And like. And that's
It gets real Siegfried and Roy.
It's Siegfried and Roy, the motion picture.
Yeah.
And so the movie is supposed to be about this family who are having a nice trip to the Serengeti and are getting along with fucking lions and tigers. But what is actually happening is, while they're filming it, the lions and tigers are literally attacking the cast and crew.
Yeah, they are.
Right? And miraculously, nobody died. However, the fucking what do they call it? The chief of photography or whatever. Director, was scalped and got like 150 fucking stitches in his.
Yeah.
And he went on to direct the movie Speed, by the way. But,
there you go.
No, for real.
Really? The Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Really?
No, and Melanie Griffith was fucking pounced on, and she was like 16 when they filmed it, and she was pounced on. Dude, this movie is the craziest movie I've ever seen.
I feel so weird that I've seen it. Like, of all the fucking
You haven't
things.
seen any movie.
I haven't seen Scorsese movies. I've fucking seen that.
Roar? Seen it.
Can I just say something? So I went to see this at the Rio Theater on Broadway and Commercial, and it was like Roar, this movie we've heard about with some lions or whatever, and the movie's pretty boring for the first like 15 minutes because it's just like this like boring. But then the first guy's like, "Oh, don't worry about these lions. They're just harmless fucking kittens." And then he unexpectedly gets pounced on.
Yeah.
And everyone in the Rio is like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
No, you want to see a movie that's gonna blow your mind? Fucking Roar. That's the movie to see.
Imagine Tiger King, but all good parts.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that. Instead of that Joe Exotic bullshit, it's just tigers eating people.
Oh no.
Former Patreon.
But it goes beyond tigers, because there's a character in Roar, this black guy, and he's the fun, the comic character, and at first he's okay with it, but as the movie goes on, he is spending less and less time near the animals, and he's always got a bottle of Jack Daniels. Like, the guy's getting fucking loaded, right? And at one point, he's like in a tree, like he won't come down from the fucking tree. He's like, "I will not fucking." It is amazing, because this guy is just like, glug glug glug. You're paying me. I'm in a tree. I'm not going anywhere near those fucking.
Yeah.
But there is a point where elephants are fucking stomping on a fucking boat that they're supposed to be in. And there's no way that was in the script. Like, oh, dude, see Roar.
I would love to see the script. and see what was written in there. And wouldn't it be
You
amazing if it
can't
was
though
like?
because it's been stomped
Wouldn't
into
it be
the mud.
amazing if it was like shot for shot everything you saw? You're like, holy shit! This guy was a genius with big cats.
Holy shit.
Like, how did he do that? Like, he just managed to figure out how to control big cats, get them to act. The cat sitting in the chair with his leg over, it's like got a towel around its head. It's like, what are we doing in this scene? What are we doing in this scene? Am I gonna bite that guy's head off? Well, he's the director of photography. He's really pissing me off.
Okay,
He bites
so-
his fucking head off.
But there is a point where there's like 10, like literally 10 lions
Yeah.
inside a house.
Yeah.
And they're just like walking around sniffing stuff. And like actors are like, so, did your mother call this morning? And the actor, and you see the actors like, what's my line? Because there's fucking 15 lions, and I'm not even exaggerating. 15 fucking
not even
lions.
exaggerating.
15 fucking lions.
Sold. I'm sorry, I thought we were doing the elevator pitch.
And Melanie Griffith at like fucking 16
Yeah.
is pounced on, and you're like, oh
By
my god,
Antonio
that's.
Banderas.
Well, he takes the head off, goes, it was me that was dying.
I am a very dangerous lion. Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's an hour. Folks.
Sorry, what was
That's the fucking
I'm
hour.
sorry, you're doing the
He's producing.
the rotating questions.
Rotating question thing. No, we're basically
No, you nailed it. That was
It's
awesome.
really just a matter of like making things funny.
Okay.
That's all. And someone that passionate about
No,
the movie
Roar.
Roar.
See Roar. See Roar. It's fucking amazing.
See Roar.
There's lions almost killing.
As it was advertised in Spain. See Roar.
I'm telling you, man. I'm sitting in the Rio theater, and Vancouver audiences are notoriously like indifferent. We're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And when the main guy's like, hey, welcome to my ranch, and oh, don't worry about these lions, and they're perfectly hard, and like he landed on, everyone's like. And through the movie, like, okay, so I've never been to a movie where everyone in the theater, total strangers, are like, are you seeing this?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like
Right?
slapping each
You
other.
need to go
like,
see
what the
Rise of
fuck?
Gru, the Minions 2 movie. Fuck, that's good. They were like that. They were like, are you fucking seeing this?
You know, I almost saw it,
It's
but,
good.
but I thought it would be too intense.
I love Despicable Me. I love that franchise. I'm a big fan. Not so much the Minions movies, but Despicable
but
Me.
you have a child, yes?
But I love Despicable Me regardless. It's fucking great.
Really?
What a great
Parents have the
world.
kids,
What a
yeah.
great world, man.
I hate those Minions so
not
much.
the Minions, but the Despicable Me movies, where it's Stephen Carell and you know, and then fucking and what's her? She's really fucking great from the it's with the sirens.
It's just violence. That's a violent night.
It's the
It's because you can't name the female actress.
I don't think we had the windows open.
it's the,
The
live
PC police are coming for
it's
you,
the-
Simon.
no, it's the live the
Helen
live
Mirren?
stage version of Roar has gone badly. Something went terribly wrong. Oh my God! This fire trucks.
We're getting sound curtains. Sound curtains are on the way.
We're getting sound curtains.
are on the way.
These are not soundproof.
No.
But if the people next door have no idea what's happening,
Those are stolen.
I think we should probably wrap this up in a bow.
It's your podcast, buddy.
I think we should do because.
Do you have another one of those questions?
I want to get drunk. No, I want to get.
Hour 10.
I mean, I don't know.
We're good?
We're good. We do
do
one.
one more?
Special? What do you want to do? One more?
Yeah.
Let's do one more random, and then we'll fucking.
Unless
get
I
out
don't
of
like the question, then we're done.
here. No, okay. You don't like the question, then we're done.
All right. What cartoons did you watch as a child?
Oh, are you shitting me?
Oh Jesus Christ!
Is that the name of the cartoon?
Yes.
Hour 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Simon, you're the host. What did you
I
watch?
think Transformers, probably based on the last episode.
Duh.
As a kid, I watched a lot of Warner Brothers. A lot of Warner Brothers.
Yeah, man.
I grew up on that shit.
Yeah.
I watched that. I watched heavy metal. Just kidding. I watched that. I watched I watched all that stuff like Transformers, G.I. Joe. I mean, I was a kid.
Okay,
You know?
so
And I was really into the
Don't forget the
military-industrial
Phantom.
complex.
I
No,
need-
I loved military spending.
I-
I was pro-Pentagon when I was like 7. And back then, I used to say lasers. All right, fuck Cobra. Right? That was my thing.
okay. I have a question, but
Fuck Cobra is also my porn name.
I remember telling my father I liked G.I. Joe. My father was a draft dodger.
Yeah.
And came to Canada. You know.
Yeah. To
And
avoid
so he
drafts.
was horrified. He's like, "You watch G.I. Joe?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And I'm thinking of like, there's an underwater guy called like Snorkel Boy or something, and fucking whatever. It was all like ludicrous. Like when you watch G.I. Joe, you didn't think, "Oh, I'll bet this is what it's really like to be in the fucking military." It's like, huh?
You watch He-Man?
Okay, so
That's what gave me my body image
Now-
issues that make me
no.
make me such a lifter today.
To this day.
I got so big because of He-Man.
My
right?
question
Like, I
is
wanted to get
this:
ripped.
there are two different versions of cartoons,
Yeah.
in my opinion. There is the Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
And then there is the I just got home from school cartoon.
That's the He-Man. That's your
That's the
Transformers.
He-Man. That's your Transformers. That's your G.I.
That's your
Joe.
Ghostbusters.
The real Ghostbusters, absolutely.
Yeah. Beetlejuice. Was that a morning? Beetlejuice was a morning.
I'm not sure about
Because they didn't try to
Beetlejuice.
sell you shit.
No.
I don't think. So definitely G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers.
Here's one. You might be too young for this, but Beverly Hills Teens.
Don't know what
Okay,
that
so
is.
Beverly Hills Teens was just about rich teenagers, and I now realize it. Who are those asshole rich people who have a real?
Kardashians.
Yeah. It was the precursor to the Kardashians, right? Come live your fantasies in Beverly Hills.
You know what the weird thing is?
And I was like a poor kid in Surrey, and I was like, I won't watch this.
My doctor told me I have a lump that's pre-Kardashian, but
I can't. You know what's amazing is I didn't hear that because
That's
it's
fine.
out of my left ear,
fine.
and
It's
I
fine.
can't hear anything
I like
out
how
of
you've
my
got the
left ear.
headphones on your right ear, but it doesn't fucking matter. I'm just thankful Dylan didn't keep his job as an air traffic controller.
The left ear. Sorry.
It's like, we're coming in for a landing on runway 3. You know it's a fucking terrible movie about planes. Right.
Listener, I don't know how old you are, but I also loved
He's 58.
the gummy bears. You watch Gummy Bears?
Watch Care Bears.
Fuck.
Gummy Bears.
The Care Bears are fine.
I watched Care Bears. I watched She-Ra was on for a while. I watched that for a bit.
She-Ra. Okay, so this made me laugh because He-Man was awesome. He would Prince Adam would lift the sword out and go like, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power.
And his weird little shitty haircut would disappear.
And then he'd shoot fucking Cringer, that little pussy.
Yeah.
And he'd turn a battle cat, right?
Yeah.
But then, 2 or 3 years later, they came out with She-Ra.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, for the honor of Grayskull.
Yeah,
Boop,
no.
boop, 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 boop. It was the fucking lamest shit. Are you pushing this close to my mouth?
Just so people can hear you. Don't worry, it's mostly audio. Don't worry about it.
I always felt bad for She-Ra fans because it was like, it's so much lamer. That, like He-Man was fucking boss. And then She-Ra was kind of like...
The thing I don't understand about He-Man is it was like that movie True Lies, where it's like, there's no way that's a computer salesman. Like, He-Man was so fucking ripped that you're just like, hold on a second. Who could possibly be helping everybody? Is it that gigantically ripped page boy haircut weirdo over there? With the little cat that carries a huge sword on his back all the time?
But Prince Adam.
Yeah, Prince Adam.
But what I loved is that, like, He-Man. I am He-Man.
Yeah.
And look at my... also equally masculine cat that I ride a pussy around, and he's the same color as Prince Adam, and his like wimp ass fucking cowardly, and not a tiny cat, like roughly the same size. How did nobody figure it out?
Well, it attacked Melanie Griffith when she was 16. That's what really threw everything off. That's probably good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you're listening to the podcast, you could be watching the podcast. Go to www.youtube.com/thecitizentrain. You can watch the podcast there. Please like, rate, and review. And you can sign up on patreon.com/thisisSimonKing. There will be a bonus episode every month. Nobody's watching them, but I'm making them. Dylan, what would you like to plug?
I have an album.
Woo!
Does?
It's called Macro Dose.
It's called Macro Dose?
It's on the
800-pound
places. Yeah.
And her like I'm just nursing him through.
Well, I don't know.
It's on 800 Gorilla
It's on
Records.
like
It's very
like
funny.
iTunes and stuff like that.
It's very funny. As far as I know, I don't know. I never listened to
You
it.
haven't. I listened to half of your album,
Hey, that's
but you
enough.
have like 18 albums,
Yeah, you
and
got
I
a lot.
listened to half of one.
Hey man, I put out a lot and nobody gives a shit. So
Yeah.
look where we are.
Hey,
I've just done too
you know
much
what?
work.
Let's start a fucking a record label.
Yeah, let's start it.
Nobody gives a shit.
Nobody gives a
records.
shit.com/roar.
Yeah,
And
it's actually a good idea.
nobody gives a shit records.
Yeah.
That would be good.
NGS.
Mikey, do you have anything to plug?
Just loving life, baby.
He's happy. I mean, what can?
That's all I'm promoting.
It doesn't
And
matter
your
how much
hair,
time he
man.
spends with me.
You
He's
have
happy.
great hair.
He has great hair.
Great. It came back. It
And
came back.
it doesn't matter how much time he spends with me. He's still somehow happy. I think he may be impervious to my cynicism, which I don't know why. Most people aren't. Thank you so much.
20 years.
Thank you so much for listening and watching.
Fuck yeah.
And please follow me on TikTok at This Is Simon King. And at the end of this video, there's a link to subscribe, and there's a link to a special I put out a little while ago. You might check it out. Thank you very much, Dylan Reimer. Thank you very much, Mikey Greenwood.
Thank you very much,
And,
guys.
thank you. That's what's wrong this week.